Hey guys, it's Reaction Monday. You know, there's 4 teams left for the playoffs. Everything else is just going to be bowls. But we'll talk about the almost chance that Alabama got into the playoffs. If y'all haven't watched the wonderful SEC short that they put out, it's Alabama getting held up at the airport and not being able to get on the plane for the college football playoffs. It's really good.
Is Tennessee in line behind them?
No, Tennessee.
I went there. I did.
Tennessee wasn't even a thought.
Reaction Monday. This is me done Tennessee.
Hey, they went to the Orange Bowl. They've had a good season, 10-2.
So
who'd have thought that Tennessee was going to go 10-2?
So
other than
we thought they were going to be good. We said they were going to be good. So I'll say this, and I get it that Tennessee is in a different place. The program's in a different place. But was it Ricky Bobby that said if you ain't first, you're last?
Hell, son, you can be second, third, fourth, even fifth.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're not last. Could care less about which bowl game we go to. So when people are
y'all going to the Sugar Bowl?
I guess, if you say so. We're playing Kansas State, I know that.
Yeah, they didn't want to take LSU after LSU got spanked by Georgia.
Sugar Bowl doesn't mean the same thing that it used to.
No, it doesn't.
And especially with I can complain about it, but it's not going to change. A few years ago, when players started opting out of the bowls, I said it has ruined it for. That started with the BCS. It's kind of like if you're not playing, they're like, why?
Why? That's right. Why go get hurt?
One of the things
that could
change that is the NIL money.
I don't blame them. If there's no, I mean, yes, if you go out and you play good and then you're going to go get drafted and the last game they see is you playing good in the bowl game, yes, I understand that can help your draft stock. But if you're a guaranteed first, second, or third round,
what does Bryce Young have to prove by going?
Right, like, go sit down. Go protect everything so you get drafted. Look, it sucks, but it's a business decision, and I completely understand it.
So I just don't. I don't really. Bowls have lost their
luster. Yeah, they have, and we'll talk about bowls later on in the month. We're not going anywhere just yet, but you know,
it is bowls or no. There's a bunch of jokes.
Yeah, I know. And we'll start with the first toilet bowl. The first championship game.
Its first championship game was
Utah and USC. We were both wrong on this.
Yeah, we both chose USC.
Yeah, I thought that USC would get them the second time around. The quarterback had been getting better. No, Utah just spanked
Florida is the Pac-12 champs.
Yes, Florida's the Pac-12
they
champs.
Beat Utah. Opening game of the year.
Yep. I'll be expecting that banner any day in Gainesville. In Pac-12, y'all can just send it.
Utah looked great. Maybe USC, that quarterback for Utah, did you see when he got his helmet knocked off?
Well, but I also saw that Caleb Williams for USC was hurt during most of that game.
So they were leading 14-3 or 17-3, and when he got hurt and he was limping and he could no longer use his legs, it was done. It changed. So,
all right, then we got your next game. So it started off Friday night with a little glimmer of hope for Alabama, and then Saturday morning rolled around. And were y'all thinking that this is Christmas Eve while this game was happening?
Was this
Kansas State versus TCU?
What a great ball game! I had a chance to watch a lot of this one, and you know, TCU came down the field and scored and had to go for a 2-point conversion to tie the game, and then I think I'm old school. You take the points when you got them, and TCU got stopped on 4 tries going in, and Max Duggan, the quarterback for TCU, hats off to him. His post-game conference, he couldn't stop from crying, and he's a competitor.
He was,
and he's great, and he's I think we'll see him in the NFL one day. But they tried to stick it in the end zone. They didn't. You know what? You kick the points there, then you make Kansas State either kick a field goal or score a touchdown.
That's correct.
And you know, I feel like you kick it there.
So it started off.
Going to be 2020.
So it started off well.
Perfect.
For Alabama.
And I'm sitting there on Facebook and I'm listening to all you Rocky Toppers. So I had to choose my words. All you Rockies talking, wow, woe is me. Well, the point is, look, y'all, Alabama always wins in the end. You may have kicked that nigga.
I don't.
But we always, the cameraman can roll his eyes if he wants to. Y'all can't see him.
Here's what I'm going to say. About 3 weeks ago, this man right here said that Alabama doesn't deserve to be in the college football playoffs. And now,
I still agree.
Now we get down to the end, and he's like, oh, we should have been in.
No, I don't. I've never said that. No. I told somebody at church yesterday, I'm like, why would we want in so we can get embarrassed on a national scale? Because Young's not going to play.
Apparently it is a new bowl holiday tradition.
A bunch of the players have already
for Georgia to beat Alabama.
Have already entered the portal.
It's like every other year now.
So I don't care. I could see how
just saying,
Tennessee could make a good argument.
Georgia would probably.
I don't even agree that Alabama should have been ranked ahead of in front of Tennessee. I don't even agree with that.
I agree.
I don't agree with that.
Tennessee should be above Alabama.
That's the difference between me, a logical football fan, and many of you that are not watching, because there's not many people watch this, but we're trying to get our numbers up. We're trying to get our numbers up.
At least we're honest.
I can, I totally, here's the thing, and you do too, you know this too, as a Florida fan, is that a large number of Tennessee fans will not shut up, ever. You just chirp.
Yeah.
And you run your mouth when Florida beats your eyebrows off your head. And for 15 years, I've been listening to y'all run your mouth. Okay? And you just never, you beat us. We're not as good as you are. You deserve to be higher. That's pretty humble in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though I don't get accused of being humble a lot, that's pretty humble, right? I will say, beat South Carolina and we're not having this conversation.
That's right.
Or get close. Get close.
No, because had they just beat South Carolina, you know who'd be in that 4th spot playing Georgia?
Tennessee.
Yep. Not Ohio State.
Man.
Because if you looked at it, had they beat South Carolina, the only loss that they would have had would have been at Georgia, which would have looked better than losing at home to Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
But
right.
They backed their way into it the same way that Tennessee could have had they not freaking worried about, is Tennessee or TCU going to lose this weekend? Who cares about TCU? Yes, they still got in. Had y'all just won,
right,
y'all be in the Ohio State spot.
It does remind me of, they brought this up, was it 2001 when Tennessee got beat by a 3-loss LSU team in the SEC championship?
Yes.
If Tennessee wins that game,
they'd have been playing for a national championship.
For BCS. That year. Who was the champ? They would have played.
That was what was the white guy quarterbacking for LSU?
Matt Mock.
Yeah,
Matt Mock was the quarterback, and I don't remember who they would have played. That was the BCS days, but they would have played for that. I remember when that happened.
We'll come back to this one.
Okay.
So let's UCF and Tulane. I think we talked about that. I didn't realize that Tulane was going to boat race the sweater vest.
I thought that, and Tulane is playing. They're playing somebody big in one of the bowls.
I'm sure they made it to the Orange or Sugar or Fiesta or
They're playing maybe USC or something like that. It surprised me. But Tulane is playing somebody that's big, and they got beat by Ole Miss. So
the Purdue Michigan.
It actually was a good game.
Yeah, for the most part. Purdue hung around there.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
It was a good game for a long time. I tell you what I have noticed through years of watching sports, and you probably have too, officiating sports. Usually the good teams gets kind of separated out towards the end of the game.
Yes, they do.
Size or athletic ability just takes over.
Well, in these next 2 games that we'll talk about, that's exactly what happened. So Clemson, North Carolina, they had their starting quarterback in for Clemson that they've had in all year. He went 3 and out twice. They pulled him, and they put the quarterback who's going to replace him next year in, and he lit it up.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
DJ Ukulele is what I
Yeah,
call him. Is the one who's
not-
a starter. Yeah, I wish Dr. Pepper. He's one of the first people that got a big commercial after the NIL, and I wish Dr. Pepper. I bet Dr. Pepper wished they had that money back because
Probably.
he turned out to be
A dud.
He didn't sell much, Dr. Pepper.
No, he turned out to be a little fancier version of
Why
Spencer
you keep
Rattler.
moving?
Because we're done. We got to go to that one now.
Okay.
We talked about Clemson,
North Carolina. Clemson plays Tennessee in the bowl game, so that'll be
orange on orange,
on orange. It'll be interesting.
The Creamsicles versus the Creamsicles.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Fresno State and Boise State.
I didn't watch any of that game.
I actually, because I had my settings on my phone set to top 25 when we pulled up the games to get our picks, it didn't even show up. And then I realized late, was it Friday night or Saturday night? I told Keith, I said, "Oh my gosh, we forgot to do Fresno State and Boise State in the Mountain West. We got to do an emergency recording." He was like,
No.
Just no. Keith's not much of a texter.
I am not. I
doesn't
give
put in
short, simple responses. Therefore, it's very clear.
To be very emotive person, it does not translate into text.
It does not.
He doesn't even use emojis. Who doesn't use emojis?
This guy.
You thought you would think this guy uses emojis.
I like to be very precise in what I am trying to get across.
LSU, Georgia. Speaking of close at first, the first 2 or 3 plays or 2 or 3 series, you're like, "Hey, man, this is gonna be a ball game."
And then J.D. Daniels?
Jalen
Daniels. He went out with an injury. The Nussmeier kid, actually, I thought that he did very well for LSU, getting thrown in there in the championship game with the lights as bright as they are. He finished out pretty good. It was kind of respectable, 50-30. I don't know that I would bring Jalen Daniels back. I would probably let Nussmeier play in the bowl game.
Well,
just because you know that Jalen's gone.
Yeah.
He'd probably opt out anyways, going back to what we were saying in the beginning, because why do you want to put yourself on the line like that when now he's probably a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick?
Yeah. Well, and all those.
And LSU tried to pull Alabama and bring the quarterback off the bench and rope-a-dope Georgia in the SEC championship.
It
didn't work.
Only works for a certain select few, just letting y'all know.
Well,
hey, so
it only works for people that have stockpiles of 5 stars on their bench that's just hanging out waiting for their chance to play. It's kind of like Nebraska in the mid to late 90s when they had like 5-star linemen just sitting there.
We've been pretty tough early on Brian Kelly, and we made, after the Florida State game,
we get even worse.
We get because of his expressions, and we felt. I have realized that's just his expressions.
He just looks lost all the time on the sideline.
He looks lost, and he's a good coach.
Yeah,
and he looks at the jumbotron a lot.
And
he looks up
and stares.
And stares, and
it's like he's waiting for God to tell him what to do.
Brian Kelly, I know you're watching this, and so I just like to apologize.
I wish he was.
I just like to apologize.
Share You got better.
You don't.
You did.
You did, and you did a great job. And that's just your natural look. It's kind of like Jim Brewer, old Saturday Night Live. He goes, "I'm not stoned. I just look like I'm stoned all the time." There's some of those people that they got that look. And Brian Kelly, he just kind of looks like he's confused a little bit, but he's not.
No, he's not. And
he's actually kind of scary. When you think about how the level of SEC coaches, and man, it is.
I mean, he just jumped in, and
it's going to be a bloodbath. So, good question. Good question.
Do we have a question, or are you just laughing at it?
No, Becky.
Jason.
No, Becky said. So, which one is Beavis?
Becky, who?
His wife.
Which one is Beavis?
I would be Beavis. He would be. Actually, no. Beavis got beat up a lot. I'd be Butthead. He could be Beavis.
I showed her the picture last week with the guys on the balcony.
No, that was Butthead.
Oh,
Beavis.
Both of them did it.
Well, Beavis was the higher pitched one.
Yeah.
Carter, UK's playing Iowa in the Music City Bowl.
UK and Iowa.
Iowa's kind of good, actually, but if Kentucky's offensive line that continued to get better throughout the season.
What is the total going to be on that in Las Vegas? Like 12, 24? Because Levi's is gone. I'm sure he's not playing.
Yeah, I would say that he's probably not suiting up.
And
for Kentucky
Iowa
one more
has
time.
some of the lowest output offensively.
So
let's follow.
So
this,
if you're
'cause
Chris Rodriguez, since you missed the first quarter of the football season, do you play in this
I think so.
to help your draft stock? Because he's what, number 2 or number 3 on the all-time leading rusher for Kentucky at this point?
I
I
think
think he's number 2.
because here's the deal in professional football in NFL, running backs are a dime a dozen.
That's right.
They're
you need to put
very
as much on tape as you can.
They
get.
are very, very cheap, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's the way the cookie crumbles. And so I think, Chris Rodriguez, if he should be playing. And so, but yeah,
who's the backup quarterback? Hasn't he been in a game?
Yeah, South Carolina. Because remember, South Carolina beat Kentucky.
That's right. Yeah, that does not bode well for Kentucky. But we'll get into the bowl games
how
later
South
on.
Carolina win as many ball games as they did?
Spencer Rattler.
South Carolina are the Minnesota Vikings of college football. The Vikings are
No.
are bad, but they've won 10 ball games.
Yeah, they're 10-2.
Yeah, and they're bad.
But South Carolina wasn't even close to that record.
Cowboys
They're like the New York Giants.
slapped.
Like, how the
face out
heck
of
is
them.
New York Giants 7-5?
Yeah. Hey, so we can, and I actually gotta go, do some work and make some money because we need some Christmas gifts. We're gonna have coal and stockings if we don't, our bag of switches. One last opportunity to
Bag of switches.
to irritate some Tennessee fans. So
That's irritating. Hey, they're a basketball school now.
That's
It's flopped over to
I'm
basketball.
afraid that's not going to work out for you either. But anyways, you're probably better than Kentucky. Kentucky's so overrated in basketball, in my opinion. Are you a Kentucky guy?
Yes, very much so. That's why
They
he's
should
not
have-
ready to
show
you the
Our
rock
cameraman
bottom.
went. I like Calipari, and I like Kentucky. But I mean, should they have struggled with Michigan like they did on Sunday? I just don't.
Well, it's a young team. They're still trying to figure each other out.
Bellarmine or whatever stuck with them for a really long time the other day, but they did beat Louisville. But anyways,
But I think that there's more than just Kentucky now that can play basketball in the SEC.
Yeah. Who deserves SEC Coach of the Year?
I mean, you would have to say Brian Kelly.
Why not John Chappell?
Because we expected that out of Tennessee. We didn't expect that out
Did
of
Heupel
LSU.
win? Who won it last year? Can you look see? Who won it last year?
SEC Coach of the Year.
2021 Coach of the Year was probably Kirby Smart because they won the national.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think Kirby Smart did.
Here's the
end up
thing:
being-
after you win a couple of national championships, it's like people are like, "Oh, do we really want to vote for him again?" So SEC Coach of the Year 2021. But we did expect it out of Heupel, but
we did, but we did not, especially after that first loss, and then after the Tennessee loss, to get all your people together and go, hey, we've still got more stuff to play for.
yeah,
And to me, that's more of a coaching job than, and no offense to Tennessee or Heupel fans, I think that was more of a coaching job happening out of Brian Kelly.
Last year says Kirby Smart, Georgia. Before that, Nick Saban, Ed Orgeron, LSU. Mark Stoops, Kentucky,
oh yeah.
2018.
I like Kentucky. I just said they don't think they're very good in basketball. I
come
don't think
back.
they're as competitive in basketball as they should be. I mean, they got beat by that little private school that wound up beating a bunch of people in the tournament last year. What was the name of that school that made it like to the sweep? Made it to the Final 8 or Final 4, wasn't it? That beat Kentucky, the Giant Slayers, the little guy, they had the guy with the little mustache that they beat all. They beat.
I'm lost on this one.
They got beat by Kentucky in the Final 4. Who was it? That team that beat Kentucky in the first round.
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's.
St.
And
Peter's.
but they wound up beating. They made it to the Final 4, I think, or at least the Elite 8. But okay, so here's while our stats guy is looking at it, that's great to have a producer, by the way.
I
Our
know.
stats guy.
Yeah.
He's our producer. We have producers. We're moving up. Clay Travis, take note. We have producers.
Actually,
Bring us on your show.
That's what I was going to say. I wouldn't mind being under the Clay Travis umbrella.
If you want to lose all your sponsors, put us on
I
your
don't-
show.
actually,
We can
well,
say something unedited.
One of us will be okay with the sponsorship. I don't know.
Just don't pull a Kyrie Irving, and we'll be okay. Kyrie Irving.
No, I know what he did, but
It made me want to read the book.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That made me want to read the book.
I kind of wanted to know what he got banned over.
Wow, what did he say?
No Alex Jones stuff. Is that
Here's
what
the
you're saying?
thing. No, here's the thing about it.
We
Probably
can't say that.
it was it
Turn
a
the
book
Frogs
or a book or a movie? Or
It was a
maybe
movie.
It was a movie. Yeah. So here's most of the time when people get banned, it's usually for stupid stuff. So probably what he said was, I took what he said to mean that he as a black man, he identified with Jews.
Maybe.
So
See, again, this is going back to the whole text thing. This is why you don't leave it vague.
you just say no.
You just be specific on what you want. Because then there's none of this. Actually, I don't know if y'all know, but Dave Chappelle was on Saturday Night Live a few weeks ago. And he made a joke that Kanye got in so much trouble that Kyrie got in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave Chappelle, one of our great thinkers of the time. If you listen to him, Dave Chappelle and watch his stuff, and it's obvious he's a very, I don't agree with everything he says, but who do you agree with everything?
Nobody.
He is like, he has a reason to back up everything he believes. And when you hear it, you're just like, huh, yeah, I see that. But back to Coach of the Year, I think Brian Kelly probably will get it because
everybody.
First year dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Heupel was second year, but I could see Heupel where people would make a good argument for Heupel.
Excuse, argument, it's all the same. But really, who ended up doing the better coaching job this year? To me, it was Brian Kelly. We expected out of Tennessee. Yeah. We didn't, especially after the first game against Florida State. We thought LSU's done this year. Yep.
42 minutes ago.
Oh, my God.
Josh Heupel won.
Okay, so
congratulations, Josh
Heupel. Our producer, both wrong again.
Yeah.
Both wrong again, which we come to expect it. So Josh Heupel was not, and I have no problem with that.
No, but again, to me, who did the better coaching job this year? It was Brian Kelly.
She was a big
in my eyes.
That was a bigger fire to put out.
It really was.
I got a doctor's appointment at 2.
All right. I
y'all.
don't know if that was enough. That's more information than we needed.
Jason, I didn't tell you what for.
Well, still.
I got this pain.
No.
They lost to North Carolina in the Elite Eight. First 15 seed to make it to the Elite Eight.
So there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, I knew they made it pretty deep. And but they beat some.
They beat Purdue, it was 3. They beat Kentucky, of course.
Yeah. Purdue's really good this year. I don't know if you guys have seen is it Edie or Eddie, the 7'1" guy who moves like he's 6'1" or 6'2".
Look, I'm going to be completely honest. I will be catching up on basketball because it's been football season.
I'm the only
and football is more important than basketball.
But
college
basketball is on every day of the week, though, and you can watch a good game. Yes. And there's usually multiple games on. Where the NBA, unless you buy the league pass, they only have one game on, and usually it's not. I love watching.
Well,
I like watching
you
specific
got
players.
TBS and TNT.
TBS is only on Tuesdays.
You got
TBS
games on ESPN. If you've got FS, you can
I'm talking about NBA.
Yeah, Fox Sports.
NBA doesn't come on Fox.
Yeah, it does. It comes on the Atlanta channel that the Sports South.
It's Bally. Yeah.
Bally.
I don't have Bally on YouTube TV. I don't have that station.
Oh.
So let me rephrase. It maybe comes on and I don't get it.
I think that Bulls games are still on WGN from time to time.
Yeah, maybe. I follow specific players, and that's what I didn't even know.
So basically, So basically, you're complaining because you can't watch the player that you want to watch every night.
Chauncey Billups is the coach for like the Trailblazers now, or is it Charlotte?
Huh?
Chauncey Billups, the old player.
Well, those
he's
are
a
two
coach
different.
now.
Those are two different
I
teams.
can't remember who it is. He was coach for
The Trailblazers are in Portland, and the Hornets
on the
are in
Hornets,
Charlotte.
but I can't remember which one. I think it's maybe not sure. The Clippers. Was it the Clippers or the? Anyways,
You have bounced around to 14 teams.
I like watching Steph Curry.
Okay,
Because he's a great three-point
Who
shooter.
doesn't like watching Steph Curry?
I like watching Joel Embiid. Who is it?
Blazers.
The Blazers, the Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups. I like watching Joel Embiid. It's a rookie
Philly?
from Philly, and James
He's not a
Harden.
rookie.
Yeah, yes. He was at Kansas last year.
Joel Embiid's been in the league for like 8 years now.
Huh?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was a rookie.
Hold on.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm sure it's not. He's not a rookie.
Oh, okay.
Joel Embiid has been
I
in
said I didn't follow
He
basketball.
Four or
was
five.
drafted. He was drafted 3rd overall by the 76ers in the 2014 draft.
Oh, so I was right. 8 years.
EMBI. We're talking about the same person.
Just a bit outside.
Okay. Well, I said I didn't follow. I thought he was new.
No. But
Okay,
you
well,
were
I know
right.
some who is new.
He was
Ban-
playing for Kansas
Bankero.
a decade ago.
Bankero that plays for Orlando. I like watching him. I love watching Ja. Is my favorite one to watch. Ja
Ja
Morant
Morant.
at Memphis.
And I don't
then-
understand why we, being in